Hello, traders. Trading is an individual thing. So, this is mainly for people who are a part of a trading community or who are interested in joining a trading community, and how that can play on your psychology and your growth as well. So, I've been part of a trading community for a couple of years now, I think almost three. And I've seen a difference between being in a trading community and trading as an individual trader. And one of the things that I had to learn is trading communities have a lot of content, well, some of the good ones. And it can be overwhelming to consume all this content, or you might feel guilty if you're not consuming certain content. And one of the things I learned is that not all the content is relevant to you at that space and time. You need to find out for yourself what content is helpful for you in that time and which content isn't, um, so that you can allow yourself a nice incremental development and not overwhelm yourself with too much things to think about. So I remember at the beginning we have this thing called an advanced self-review. That's one of the things that I omitted in the beginning, and I was just focusing on learning the technicals. And then from there, I would layer that with starting to actually put my trades inside a trading journal. And then I'd layer that with something else and something else. But as I layer, that can also start becoming overwhelming. So there's certain things that I might not need to do anymore. And this is important for your psychology, because if you're overwhelmed as a trader just through the processes that you have, that can affect how you perform in the markets. You might start hearing a whole lot of conflicting things as well, which will definitely hammer on your psychology in the markets. So you need to be able to, because how you do one thing is how you do another thing. If you are able to dissect the information that you need at that space and time with regards to your processes, then when you hear conflicting messages, you'll also be able to dissect that. And just to remember that you are an individual in a community and not you just the community, and you should do every single process that is there. Yeah, so like for instance, I know with my community, one of the channels that we have is where you can view people's trades. And for me, that wasn't helpful at a certain point. At a certain point, it was in the beginning, but it got to a point where it wasn't helpful anymore for me. And it actually, it wasn't good for my psychology, because I'd see everybody's forecast and wonder, oh man, did I do things right? So then I started just to cut that down and say, okay, if I'm going to look at a forecast, I'll look at a weekend's forecast from the main mentor, and that's it. Everybody else I won't look at, until it got to a point whereby, okay, I just do my own forecast and I can just compare it to the mentor on some weekends, maybe not even every single weekend. Because why? It's about creating that independence, because the community is not going to press the buy or sell button for you. You have to do that for yourself. You have to gain your own independence for yourself. Ask yourself, if the community disappeared for whatever reason, would you still be able to trade? And this is a question that you need to ask yourself if you've been at least plus 18 months in a community. Would you still be able to trade? And if not, you have to implement certain things to gain your individualism, to gain your independence in that. You need to think about certain strategies that you can do so that you can use that community in a special way, and not in a way that is stagnating to your overall growth. There's phases to how you use your community. All right. And you might be in a phase whereby you should actually be helping people more than trying to now learn. If you're 18 months in and you're still trying to learn, there might be a little disconnect there. Your self-image might need some correcting. You might need to move from having a student mindset to more of I'm a coach or I'm a mentor myself type of mindset, and you'll see that your growth will grow. But anyway, I've said a mouthful today, so I'll keep the my top 3 for the week quite short. Very simple what I'll be looking for. So over here I've got the sterling CAD. As usual, what I'm looking for on this hook point here is just a simple little push down and a continuation. And of course I will then take a entry that looks similar to something like that over here, which covers the entire continuation, or I might get a third touch on the continuation and a nice little rejection flag, which will allow me to get a tighter stop. And the risk to reward, as you can see, can be quite good with that. That's what I'll be looking for this week. But if that doesn't happen, we might just drop from where we are now. I'll be patient with that and allow price maybe to give me something that is a bit more developed and beautiful. Ooh. So we might get something like this. Ooh. When would this be? 10th of August, I think, is still this week. So we might even still get this week. So we'll see what price gives us. I won't be looking for any push downs and a flag from where we are right now, because simply put, although I know it can work, it's not in my current trading plan. I won't be looking for this in my current trading plan. The DAX, I've been forward testing the DAX for a couple of months now, and it moves really, really well. So I'll be adding this commodity indice into my roster for the coming days. So what I'll be looking for here is, if we tag into this hook point type area, and same as sterling CAD, just that push down and flag. So as you can see, all my moves are the same, and they're coming from a nice overall daily structure as well, as you can see there. So I'd be very excited to see how price forms in this area this coming week. And another very similar one is the Euro USD. So Euro USD, hopefully we'll get a position this week here. So what I'd be looking for, I'd like price to tag this area and accumulate a bit more, and then I would look for a position. We do have a near miss where we are, but for me that won't be an attractive investment if we create a continuation without tagging these areas, just because of the size of the flag. If it was maybe bigger, so if maybe price on this bigger continuation had a little bit of a miss, I'd be happy to look into that. But because it's so small, it's such a smaller structure, I'd rather wait for price to actually tag the value area before I take anything there. Otherwise, I hope you have an amazing week, and hope to catch you again next week. Cheers.